Hi, welcome to this evening's Three Fish on the Shirt. I'm Dave Dixon. My colleague Steve Risley will be joining me shortly. But first, could I just ask, if you watch our YouTube channel, please subscribe. It helps us find more Mariners fans and more football fans, so it'd be really helpful. Thanks very much.
This is John Sander. You're listening to Three Fish on the Shirt.
Welcome to this week's Three Fish on the Shirt. I've got Steve with me, as I promised a minute or two ago when I introduced the show, asking you to subscribe, please, to our YouTube channel. Welcome, Steve. No football this week.
No, boring. Only a postponement to moan about.
Yeah, so I thought we'd get into that straight away. In the intro, we whizzed through the tweets from the town account. So 12:41 on the 9th, we got pitches in good condition, frost protection's doing its job, don't see any problems. Brilliant. Friday the 10th, tomorrow, 4:48 p.m. Tomorrow's match is looking good. No inspection planned. All good. Brilliant. An hour or so later, or 2 hours later, match day info. So all the stuff about where the pies are going to be, who's going to be in the hospitality suite, and all that stuff come out.
Yeah.
9:21 a.m. on the 11th. Whoa. We're still a little bit nervous now, looking at the pitch. We think it's done its job, but there's an inspection now at 10:30. Or no, we didn't know about the inspection at that point. That was we'll keep you updated. Then we got 9:45. County are in town.
Yeah.
And then not 40 minutes later, the covers are coming off. There's an inspection at 10:30, which is 7 minutes away at this point. Bear in mind that the match is only 2 hours away at that point.
Yeah.
We're starting to think, and social media is starting to become warmed up with, this is going to be off, after much positivity. And then the next tweet was at 10:57 to say pitch update, match off, and I'd set off. So how did it appear from your point of view?
Well, yeah, I was keeping an eye on it all, and but I just look at my messages to you. I said that still freezing. Be surprised if parts of the pitch aren't frozen. Guess the rest will make the call, and then that was sort of, and you were sort of saying, well, clubs are giving positive messages out, but I'm thinking it's just been freezing all week, and I thought it's not changed. It's got even worse. So I thought there's no way. I'd be mega surprised if the game was on, and it turned out it was off.
It was proper farcical, and you wonder if there was pressure there, don't you, to get it on because of Sky.
There must have been, because it was on Sky. I'm convinced of it. Otherwise, it would have been cancelled Friday night.
Because I don't know what you think. I'm no expert by any means, but those frost covers strike me as kind of a one night job. If you're going to protect the surface from frost for one night, yeah, you might be able to get away with it. But to protect it from night after night after night of frost, once the surface goes, you're not protecting anything. You're just maintaining the coldness, and it stays as cold.
Just keeping it frozen. Unless
you add heat, which there's no way that we can do across the piece.
There was that radiator, didn't there?
I think that was either a gag or somebody's misinterpreted what it was, but it certainly don't believe it was a serious tweet unless you had a panel-sized area of the pitch that you could do it with. I don't think that was serious. But
no, I knew it wasn't going to be. The problem is parts with this time of year, the low sun just doesn't get to parts of the ground.
No.
Whereas, because I was saying that to about the Tamworth game that was on Spurs, and I'm thinking, how the hell can they get it on? But they've got no stands, so if it's sunny, it's going to get to all the pitch.
Yeah.
And ours, you just don't get in front of the Osman stand. You don't get the sun. So.
And down the side of the Findus as well. The other thing that struck me was the Walsall heated pitch cover, which was pretty much like a blow-up wall all the way around with some space heaters inside.
Yeah.
Which I thought, oh, that's quite novel. But then, day before yesterday, I found a tweet which pointed back to an episode of Blue Peter, believe it or not, in 1972, with Peter Purvis that's Purvis, not pervert, Peter Purvis at Leicester City, who were one of the first ever to get a pitch cover in the UK, in the world actually, I think. And basically, it's polythene sheet, sort of carrier bag grade, thinking Tesco bag for life thickness, rolled across the full width of the pitch and length of the pitch, with steel cables going across with anchor points each side, and then we just warm air blown under it, and you get this kind of roof effect thing, and that'd be good for covering it for water and for frosts, because when they're protecting it from frost, they just stick a space heater in it. And bear in mind, you don't have to get the heat much above zero to keep it from freezing. You don't have to have 50 degrees under there or anything, does it?
No, it just has to be a few degrees.
But the problem you've got is that worth it, or is it more expensive or less expensive to have a game called off? And I suspect it's probably not worth it for Town.
Probably not, no. But that was a hired-in company, wasn't it? I think at Walsall. To go
Walsall,
around doing...
I did see one point, and I don't know how true this is. If anybody knows, please let us know. But there was one thing that said it was Sky provided, but I think if it was Sky provided, then they would have done us as well. But,
no, I don't think it was. I think I read it was some company that they can hire in. I think.
No. I mean, I'm sure it is. They said they do a lot across the country. Yeah,
but obviously, it costs money, that doesn't it? So
yeah, and I suspect there's no payback for Town to do such a thing. But the Leicester version did seem, on the face of it, a very simple. But I mean, it looks good. I'll put a picture of it up on the screen. But it looked reasonably technologically advanced for something so simple. But again, you've still got energy costs for the fans to keep it up. You've got energy costs for the space heaters to keep it warm, and so warmish. So it's probably not value for money in that sense. It's probably easy to have a game off. But the big problem is the fans again, isn't it? Is you've got home fans not knowing whether to set off or not. And I did. I don't know, did you set off?
No, I didn't set off, but I know my nephew did. But I mean, he lives away in Leeds, but he'd set off. So he wanted me to ring him. He got halfway on the M8. He's up on the M18 somewhere. But there's loads of people. But it affects like everybody, because like people who don't want to go to the match. Like my wife, what's happening? I said, I don't know. So we can't plan anything. And I said, don't worry about it. But it's shit to be done it an hour and a half before kickoff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a short space of time, and I think there's a lot of shade thrown the club's way before the game. But I think overall, you've got to be wary of what other pressures were there, because we don't know. It's like when you see what goes on with players and what have you. You don't know what pressures are going on in the background, so it's difficult to. I suspect they didn't do right for doing wrong. If they'd have called it early, they'd have got pelters for calling it off too early.
It's just what I didn't understand was that there was no planned inspection. But you've got to take the covers off and have a look, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, if to me, if the pitch isn't uncovered and playable 4 hours before, you shouldn't be calling the game on. And I suspect the protocol's somewhat different. I would wonder if the delay was getting the referee there, and we're a bit out on a limb, aren't we? So referees aren't going to come and make a special journey. In the old days, you used to send a local ref, didn't they, the night before or something?
Yeah,
I don't know why they still don't do that, because that would have been.
Well,
you're not telling me that decision couldn't have been made like the night before. That's the point.
The forecasts are that accurate now. It didn't. If it was going to be 10 degrees on Saturday,
yeah,
and it was all going to be fine, then yeah. But it wasn't. It was minus. It was still going to be -3 or whatever it was, and it's been like it all week. It should have. It's not rocket science. So I don't think you need a ref. You just need to make a proper correct decision.
Bit of a baffler, that one. Anyway, it is what it is. So we'll have a Tuesday night game, a night under the lights to compensate us at some stage. Hopefully we can make the most of that, and we've managed to avoid Dan Crowley by the looks of it.
Yeah, he's going to MK Plastics, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to Plastic FC. So That was a bit of a left field one, that, but the lack of love for him on social media seems very prominent last night. Oh, he's not been very good for us lately, was one comment, to which I commented, "Oh, doesn't sound like a very good way to treat your players. Plays a few games crap, so you sell him." And they said, "Oh no, it's if you don't want to be here, you know."
I was reading about him on just had a quick look on his Wikipedia. He's got how they described him as a footballer.
Handy.
Technically good.
He's a handy footballer.
Good with both feet. And I thought, yeah, and both hands.
Yeah, at the same time.
Yeah.
No, so that was a bit of a left field on that, but rumor today is, and I've not seen confirmation, but the rumor was he was at medical. We're there for a medical today, so that was interesting. There was a cryptic tweet from the town account about 2 hours ago saying, "Load this picture in 4K," and it's a high-res picture of the Findus John Smith's upper, lower stand in floodlight. And there's somebody in the stand, but I don't know. That was just spurious. It was just a nice photo they were sharing. There was no follow up message on it. Although one person suggested Andy Smith was in the stand, but
well, I wouldn't mind him back.
Twitter rumor only. But yeah,
yeah,
nothing on the transfer front yet. So getting worried yet?
Not really. No, I don't think. We could do with some people in the.
We could do with some in and some out, couldn't we?
We could do with getting a striker in.
Word on the street is that the Faroese guy we were after, David, I forgot his surname now. We offered 40,000 or 400,000 krona, which is about £40,000. It was rejected.
That's right. Yeah,
that was a rumor on the social media a little while ago. And that's really the only link I've seen with anybody in town. And the rest, you think that might need somebody to go out before someone comes in.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Geza, is it?
That's him.
Geza, David Chury.
That's him. Yeah.
Yeah. He's only young, isn't he? He's only young lad.
He's only early 20s, is he?
Yeah, as a youth. He's a youth international. Faroe Islands Youth International.
I assume that he's one of the ones that the data has identified.
But nothing at the minute. If we get Vernam back.
Vernam played in the Notts County friendly. There was a friendly between Notts County reserves and town reserves yesterday, which ended 3-0 to town. So that was
so it'd be like a new signing.
Encouraging. If he comes back, after injury, like he did last time.
If we can get Vernam back and we get Thompson back, and they play without injury for the rest of the season, and then that's great. That'd be like two new players, and that will bolster our bid for the playoffs.
Yeah. So the account was called Faroese Football, or Faroese World. Where will Gizacuri, 23 years old, play? ? That's the big question in Faroese football right now. Vikingur have declined a 400,000 krona bid from Grimsby Town, but they have not withdrawn their interest in the player. Viborg is also said to be interested in the midfielder. That was the news item that I saw.
They'll be used to the cold weather as well.
Yeah, so we need the pitch to be kept playable in icy conditions so that we can get him and Sven Thorsen playing, and we'll be killing it. I bet Sven Thorsen was chomping at the bit on Saturday, but that's probably why they wanted to keep it on.
Yeah, I think it was in the Telegraph about him wanting to start more games.
Yeah,
he's been showing videos of David Artell said he's been showing them videos of when he, played in Iceland and what he was doing then and what he's stopped doing now.
Yeah,
he's not getting in behind as much, so he just wants him to do that a bit more than what he's done, change his game.
Yeah, no, and I think that's true, and I think that's the bit I was talking about in the previous episode where we said he's trying the things, but he's kind of lacking confidence in himself. He's obviously against more physical players. It's obviously a better standard. But when it does come off, when he does sort of go with his confidence. It comes off. That time he charged the keeper down, nicked the ball, and scored. The goal he scored against Bradford, the penalty he won against Port Vale was him taking his game to them. Let them worry about what you're doing, as opposed to worrying about whether it'll come off. But just don't do it in dangerous areas like he did at Bradford.
Because on Bradford game, he was trying to do things in the wrong areas. Really, he was exposing the team, and they were all, instead of like just control it, give it, he was trying to do little flicks, and then that was it. They lost the ball, and they were away.
Yeah.
Frustrating. And David Artell picked up on all that. He said exactly what we were seeing, so it's good.
Yeah, so that's the transfer front and the team front at the minute. Sounds like say Vernam and Thompson are on the way back, and we've now got options, haven't we? So in a game where things aren't working, you can change it for a good midfielder for another good midfielder, and that was the bit that David Artell was missing earlier in the season, and I think that's the key to a decent end of the season, or second half of the season. We're not quite at the end of the season yet, are we?
No, not yet. But it's disappointing. But at least we got an extra week's rest, don't the players?
That's it. And then next up is Chesterfield, who've signed Arabin Peppel this week.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No, he's been scoring. Yes, he's been on loan at Southend, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been playing for Southend and scoring a few goals. What price a goal against Town on Saturday? That's the worry, innit? It never looked like scoring here, and it'd be typical, wouldn't it?
Didn't look like he could hit a barn door. I don't think. Well, he never got near the penalty area.
The one time he did, he put his body in the way of a defensive, a defender trying to clear the ball against Crawley, I think it was, and the loose ball spun out from that challenge and landed at the Ginger Prince's feet.
Did it? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, I do remember.
Ryan Taylor, and he ran through and scored to make it 3-0.
That's the only thing he did.
The only thing I can remember him doing that was really any impact. I'm sure he's a good lad, and I'm sure he. But I don't wish him well for Saturday. Bit early for him to be playing in the first team straight in, isn't it? So we'll see what happens.
They've got quite a few injuries, haven't they?
Yeah. Paddy Madden, is he out again? Is he back?
He's out. That Will Grigg.
So he's been extinguished. He's no longer on fire.
Yeah.
It's his song, isn't it? Will Grigg's on fire.
I was talking to somebody the other day who was a Chesterfield fan at the club, and he was saying how many players are on these contracts, expensive contracts, like Paddy Madden, Will Grigg, and they're just injured, and because I mean I don't know how old they are, Madden, but they're a bit of yeah. So they're playing all this money, and they ain't got them playing.
Sure, he's in his 30s.
Paddy Madden.
Quick check. We'll sort that out.
And that Will Grigg, I don't really know. He's been around.
He's been about a while, hasn't he? Paddy Madden. 1990. What's that make him? 34. That's the number I had in my head. So.
Yeah, so he's knocking on a bit for a player.
That is, yeah. I mean, strikers know where the goal is, but they lose the pace, don't they? That's and it's also.
Yeah, and they get more injuries, and he'll be on a good contract there. I guess. Yeah.
And you wonder how sustainable it is with some of these clubs, can't you? That they can put the money in. I mean, Will Grigg's 33, so he's not far behind. So none of them players are going to be there for the next 2 or 3 years. No. So when you think about your teams like that, and somebody was commenting last night on money not suspending, NOTTS are £14 million in hock to their owners.
Really?
Yeah, and if they're targeting League One, which we all are, I guess, to some extent, but if you do it financially to succeed in League One, you remember we had Kieran Maguire on. The average losses in League One were £6 million a year. Now, I doubt Andrew and Jason would be keen to be propping the club up to the tune of £6 million a year. And our existence now is based on value for money, trying as hard as we can to do it on a sustainable budget, or risk the existence of the club. And I don't mean that's never been said in a threatening way, but it's if we don't do that, the more you rely on somebody to put money in, if that disappears, then the club can go, and you don't want that.
Yeah.
You want it to be
No. And all the money that our owners are putting in the club, they're saying that they don't expect to get back.
Yeah, and we had that from him, didn't we? With the converting the loans to ownership, so they're lumbered with that now. But what they don't want to be doing is propping it up for the rest of the time, and you can understand that. Somebody else wants to, that's up to them. But you can't promise that that's going to last for forever. So, plenty going on. Chesterfield, it's going to be probably as much of a challenge as the Notts County game was, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just looking. They haven't won since 21st of December. They've lost the last 3.
Yeah.
Chesterfield lost to Fleetwood on Boxing Day, lost to Bradford on 29th, and then MK Dons lost at home. So they've lost 3.
Well, if we were jaded for those 2 away games because of the number of games, then we can't say that this week. We're 2 weeks off. Plenty of time to work on the training ground. So you'd hope that we were in a good position from that perspective. Chesterfield, like say, form's not great. Our last form at home was good. I want us to see our home form staying good now, and us having reasonable away form now to keep us above that middle of the table and hopefully pushing for a playoff place. Although
that's right,
there's no guarantees, and I think if we got to that position by the end of the season, I'd be happy that it was a successful season. What do you think?
Oh, if we get in the playoffs, it'll be mega successful from being relegation battle last year. I was thinking mid-table, to be honest, 10th, 11th. But if we've just got to keep winning winning at home now. But like you were saying, convert some of these losses into draws as well.
Yeah.
We'd be up the league if we draw. I was looking at the league.
If we'd drawn half the games we've lost, I think we'd have similar record to Notts County.
That's and it's you just look at the league table and Bromley are 12th and they've played 24. They've only lost 6, but the 3 points less than us. But we've lost double that. We've lost 12 games.
Yeah. So
if we just converted 5 of them losses to draws, that would be 42. Would be in 3rd place, 4th place.
That's it.
So it's
it'd be nice. That'd be nice to our next step and to get a few good wins under our belts, like the Port Vale one as well. It'd be nice. Build that confidence up, especially at home.
That Accrington game away, we lost 3-2. That could really a draw there. It would have been deep in the end, but we didn't. We lost.
That ought to have been a win. Now you look back on it now, you'd have taken a draw, but it's a tough one. So tough game. Hopefully, none of the shenanigans for this week with the pitch. It's looking like it's going to be 7, 8, 9 degrees. So no challenge on the pitch front.
No waterlogged pitch.
No, it's going to be reasonably dry as well.
It'll be a good game. Chesterfield will be they've sold out, I think.
It should be a good away crowd again, shouldn't it? That's the main thing.
Guess the crowd.
Oh yeah, which you've taken the lead on in the overall total standings. I think it's 6-5 now. I'll put the stats on the screen, and you've overtaken me in the cumulative distance away from the total that we've been. Because I was miraculously, I was a long way out at Bradford. We did a special at Bradford, didn't we? And you said 17-8, and it was 18-1 or 18-11.
Yeah.
And I said 19.5 and was miles out.
Yeah. Well, as we were saying, I'm in the car together, and you were slightly ahead, and then I upped mine by about 500. I think I went 19. No, what did I say? 8.
17-8. And I said 19.
17-8. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'd had a look at their. I sort of knew
after
what they were
claiming that you hadn't. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Gamesmanship. Just wait.
Shithousery.
So back at Blundell Park with a home version of that again this week. So hopefully no more messing about with late cancellations, late postponements. Have you had an experience of late postponements, Steve, on your travels with Town?
Once I was in Sheffield, see Sheffield Wednesday. That's when I was in the Championship or League One. We were there, and it was called off because of rain postponement, waterlogged pitch. But
and you were already there.
I was already there, yeah. But it was called off about an hour before the kickoff, from an hour and a half. But then I was on the way to the West Ham game back in the 90s when we played them in the cup, and it was snowing, and it took us an hour and a half to get from Grimsby to Lincoln. And then they were listening to the radio, and then sort of hoping it's going to get called off because we're never going to make that. We're never going to make it, and then it did. Called it off.
Struggled to get up the hill at Caister.
Yeah, that was an hour and a half back.
Yeah,
a nice 3-hour round trip that was, and I didn't even get out my drive hardly. I should have called it off then. But
well, I managed a bus trip to Colchester one night. Pulled up outside the ground at 7:15 for a 7:30 kickoff to be told it had just been called off 5 minutes before.
That's a long way.
And when you think of Colchester, not only is it a long way, it's a pig to get to, isn't it? It's a long way. It's a long way east when you get that far south.
Yeah, that's awful. I can say I've never been there, but yeah,
I did go back to the other game. The other game was a 1-0 defeat, which is nearly as bad as going for the original getting called off. And the other one, you mentioned West Ham. I was there for the weekend for that one, so we just had a weekend with our friends that we went down to see.
Yeah, so that must have been in February time, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yes, well, it was because the replay was on the 14th of February, and or it was either the 13th or the 14th, and I was supposed to be going out with my wife, my now wife, and she'd planned on proposing to me on that day. I went to the match, to the replay.
Did you go to the game then?
Through it, yeah. I didn't know any of this. This was all clandestine, and it happened. She did it the day before, and we went out with my mum and dad the following night as a sort of celebration. But yeah, I threw the plans into a disrepute. Let's say. We're still together, so all's well that ends well.
That's it.
She's a lucky girl.
Unlucky.
Lucky. So one other bit of sad news this week. The year I was born, town manager Bobby Kennedy was in charge, and he's died this week, which is sad news.
Oh, really?
I noticed the tweet on the Bradford page saying Bobby Kennedy had died, and I thought, sure, that was our manager the year I was born. So obviously never saw him play, or I think he played for us as well. Never saw him manage, obviously, but it's certainly the name is synonymous with town, and looked it up and shared it with the history pages for the guys that look at that stuff.
Well, on Saturday they were going to go through people who died, didn't they?
Yeah.
On the big
Fallen Mariners. They're going to do that again. Going to do it this week instead now.
Doing it this Saturday, yeah. So it's a year ago now since the young lad died, isn't it? It's just
that was a year ago. So remember the
day or so ago. Yeah. Cameron
Walsh and his father. Yeah, that was sad. Yeah, Bobby Kennedy passed away. Managed between 69 and 71 and played 88. Played in 88 of the 111 games that he managed. So he was a player manager. Don't see very often.
Right.
Don't see very often nowadays.
No, you don't. No, so they'll probably have a minute silence for that, and perhaps on Saturday.
There was also going to be one for Charlie Wright as well, the goalkeeper, the town.
That's right, yeah.
And I also saw on Town's page yesterday, season ticket holder Sophie Hogg was going in for heart surgery, so we send best wishes to her as well.
Yes, best wishes to her. A quick look.
Let me go back. So Sophie Hogg. Wish her all the very best with her heart surgery, and speedy recovery. It's a big deal having something like that done.
Get her back at Bundle Park.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Good. So Steve, any other business? Have you got any ex-Mariners scoring at the weekend?
I've got a few actually, considering when there weren't many games. There was a lot of postponements for the FA Cup.
Yeah.
I
think I know where one of them's coming from, but I'll.
Well, there was 2 scorers in one game.
Right.
One for Walsall, one for Tranmere.
Let's see if I can guess them then.
So Walsall won 5-1.
Walsall won 5-1. Who scored for them that would have played for Town?
Sorry, was it?
Yeah,
it was 5.
Was it? Jamil Matt.
Yeah, was Jamil Matt 4.
So there's another one in that game.
Yeah. Who scored for Walsall? Oh, you just said him, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Was the other one for Tranmere?
Yeah.
Town. Oh, it must be
Him.
Connor.
Yeah. What's his second name?
Connor. I've forgotten. He scored against us as well last season.
Arsenal goalie. He used to play for Arsenal in goal. Pat
Jennings, Connor Jennings, of course. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Yes, well done. So that's two scores.
I've not seen the scorers in that game actually, so that'll be why I didn't know. But I guess.
There's another one.
What else you got?
League One player. Bolton.
Oh yeah, John McAtee. His brother scored as well, same day.
Scored a hat-trick. His brother, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then I've got the big one.
The penalty.
Penalty for Harry.
Knocking Hull City out the cup.
Yeah, knocked him out with a winning penalty.
That's sort of we can just about stomach that, can't we? Because it's not
definitely.
against us, it's against our local rivals, Hull City.
Yeah, it was a good penalty.
It was,
Took it away.
Under pressure. No.
Yeah.
Consummate professional. Great win.
Good win that.
Yeah.
For good win for Donny. League Two against Championship. I know they're
the last remaining team in the competition from League Two. Somebody pointed that out on Twitter, and I did resist going back, saying, "Come back when you get to the quarterfinals."
Yeah.
The quarterfinals is not for everyone.
That's 2 years ago, though, isn't it?
I know. 2 years. Yeah, it'll be the third year this year, won't it?
So it was Harry Clifton. He didn't score in the game, but he scored the winning pen.
Yeah, excellent. Good lad. Well done. So there wasn't a lot else at the weekend, was there? There's a lot of games off. I see Scunny managed to lose though, which was nice.
Did they? Oh, I didn't scroll down that low.
And there was quite a few Town fans on social media sharing the.
My phone stopped at that point.
Sharing the Scunthorpe fans' posts to us when we went out of the league last time, saying, "Hope you rot in the non-league" and all that sort of stuff. Town fans were reposting it. Am I petty enough to go back and search out? Yeah, bloody hell. Well, I didn't do it personally, but others did. And I did.
Yeah, so it's
chuckle.
It's 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, so normal kickoff.
Yeah, interestingly, the next post after the Ranger tweets about the postponement, and then there was an explanation tweet came out at 4 o'clock with a statement, club statement. Thought we'd done with that after the Fenty era, but never mind. Explaining the circumstances behind the cancellation. The next post, which was a little bit later on, was next in town, Chesterfield, next week at 12:30, and somebody posted, "Are you sure it's 12:30?"
Yeah.
And then I've looked again since, and it now says 3 o'clock. But I can't complain too much because I made that mistake in one of our little short advert videos. So.
Oh yes,
that's nicely pointed out. Thank you.
That's all right. I like a bit of attention to detail.
Exactly. Excellent. So I think that's all for this week. We've done quite well. We're not a lot of material, haven't we, for this week?
It's amazing how we can rattle on.
Well done. Nice to see you again, and I look forward to seeing you at BP on Saturday.
Yes, we'll be there Saturday. Looking forward to that.
And for all those who are listening and watching, look out for some guests soon coming on. We've got Levi Giles coming on very soon. We're just trying to nail down the exact day we can do it. And Mark Lever in early February, first week of Feb. So look forward to Levi and Lever. So
Lever and Levi,
our next guest. So look forward to that. And we'll see you in the next one. So up the Mariners.
Up the Mariners.
Up the Mariners. Cheers, Steve.
All right, mate. Very good.
This is TNT Sports' Adam Summerton, and you're listening to Three Fish on the Shirt.